Hello there. Welcome to the Unfazed Review Podcast. I'm Ben.
I'm Emmett.
And today we were talking about Snapple.
We were just talking about Snapple and how it kind of went away. You ever see Snapple anymore? Neither do we.
I'm going to ask you a question, guys. When's the last time you personally had a Snapple? Comment below. Because I was trying to remember, and we were thinking like if anyone would have it, it would be like Subway, right? And I think at one point Subway did. But we did a little research on the old Snapple, on the old Goog. We Googled it, gave it a Goog, and turns out they unphased out the glass bottles. Damn. So the best part's gone. I always thought the plastic ones were a little chintzy and seemed like they'd been left out in the sun. I don't know, dusty, you know. Never liked them. So I guess it's exclusively plastic bottles now.
Yeah, they look different too, because I remember, everyone remembers the glass, it was great, and they were so good. Once in a blue moon, it would be like, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Snapple. And then they tried to, it was the same exact design, but it was plastic, and then you'd like hold it and you'd be like,
Yeah, not the same.
But now it almost looks like the old Gatorade. Yeah, they have like the top that you can suck on or whatever. It's weird.
Remember Soapy?
Yeah, it does look like that, yeah.
I don't know if they make that anymore. But yeah,
Propel.
Propel, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like Propel now.
Yeah.
But it's hard to find.
Yeah, Snapple was the best, man. I really enjoyed it. I looked at it, you can still get it at Walmart, Target,
D's Market. D's Market is where we filmed the first Oblivion in real life. So
D's nuts.
Bet. No cap.
But it was it was cool. So I guess it's still around. Maybe we'll go buy some Snapple in bulk. But if it's not glass, I don't care.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Originally, I don't remember, it was before our time, but apparently Gatorade used to be in glass bottles.
Yeah, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, that's.
I think at one point everything in the old days was in a glass bottle.
But Gatorade is just so sporty. You know, imagine like a basketball player actually dropping it.
Remember those commercials where their sweat was green and purple?
Yeah,
I miss those.
Yeah, it kind of looked cool.
Yeah,
it didn't make me want to drink it, but it looked cool.
Yeah, I want to drink LeBron's sweat. Not really.
So did you see the video of the trans woman showing her tits at the White House?
Yeah, I want to talk about that.
Yeah.
It was a very ballsy move. But and they said, "Don't be such a dick."
Yeah. Although I will say, everyone's like calling him out on that. Like everything I've seen on Twitter and Instagram are like has been like, what the fuck are they doing?
Biden's like, I wanted the same thing at my 100th birthday.
Yeah. And then what I've been seeing just rotating around the internet is it's just a screenshot of her grabbing her breast, and then in the corner it's a tweet Biden made that says "Decency has returned to the White House." Wow. So it's like. Yeah, everyone's like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's just nothing but rainbow flags. And I saw something really interesting. It was this gay man that was I don't know who he was. I don't know if he was any kind of elected official. There's no context to the clip that I saw on TikTok. Shocking, right? Mm-hmm. But he was some kind of representative, and he was saying, the gay flag, he's like, this doesn't represent every gay person. He's like, this is something that's like being forced on people, and he found it offensive. Mm-hmm. And he like tore up the gay flag, and he's like, this doesn't represent me. And you see there's like these gay conservatives that are like getting really pissed off about it.
Yeah, they don't like it. Yeah.
And a lot. I think the whole everything going woke and rainbows for June for businesses is really a stupid move. I mean, it's like maybe certain companies can pull it off, where it's like, okay, that's fine, whatever, do your thing, have your pride, that's fine. But it's like, what the fuck? Do we really need Ford to wrap a big new truck in a rainbow flag? It's stupid.
Did they do that?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
It's dumb.
The funniest thing that happened with the rainbow thing was that Xbox, had like a rainbow icon on Twitter, but then they were coming out with a game called Diablo 4, which is all about like hell, And so like the next day it turned into like flames. It looked like they gave up on it and went like satanic.
That's hilarious.
It was really funny.
And that's the funny thing. From an unfazed perspective, you're gay, totally fine. I have no qualms with the gay people. I've met people that are gay that are super chill. But the whole rainbow being shoved down your throat by these companies is fucking obnoxious.
Yeah, and that's an interesting point about the more like traditional gay guys, like sort of bowing out of all this shit. I saw an interesting interview. I forget what was going on, but there was a conservative gay guy, and then there was a very liberal gay person. Mm-hmm. And the liberal gay person was saying, he was talking down to the conservative gay guy, saying like, you're a shame to our community. And then the guy was like, what fucking community? I'm not part of any community. This is so true. Like the word community has no meaning.
Yeah.
As soon as you like like I'd be like a part of the Star Wars community because I like Star Wars, or I'm part of like the local musician community.
Yeah.
Even like and even that is like more like just being gay doesn't make you part of the gay community. You're just gay, you know. It's like it's weird. It's very, very
We're
strange.
part of the straight community, and sometimes the gay community.
Exactly.
Come on.
But yeah, it's like you just can't be something or enjoy something without being associated with a certain ideology.
People love teams.
It's very strange.
People love teams.
It's bad. It's bad.
Yeah.
But I'm glad everyone was finally like, this is too fucking far.
Well, I think it's just a common sense thing. It's like, sure, you know, be proud of who you are, but you know, this whole, you know, like the business with Target, like that's fucking off the rails.
Yeah.
Like that shit's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like that's stupid.
Yeah.
Like you have like, you know, you're promoting the whole transitioning agenda on like little kids. It's a weird move. It's a weird move.
Yeah.
And the only thing I can say about it is, it feels almost like, especially when it gets to the federal level, that it's just distracting people. It's keeping people off balance from real issues. It's like, you know, gassing up my car the other day, $80. Like that's fucking ridiculous. Yeah. Like hyperinflation right now is just totally crazy. Like you go to the grocery store, like shit is expensive. Like rent skyrocketed. Like, it's super high. The border wide open. You got people from all over the world coming through. There's like a homeless epidemic here that's absolutely off the charts. Drug problems in the country. You've got homeless vets. It's like there's bigger things at play here than, you know, if someone wants to you know, tuck in their dick, you know?
Yeah. I think it's a good point. I think honestly people are afraid to tackle those bigger issues because they know there's nothing they can do, but they can yell at each other for, you know, being gay all day long.
It's just weird. It just seems like I'm the type of person where I'm like, I don't give a shit. Like I'm like, this shouldn't be such a focal point in our society at this point in time. Like maybe the politicians should be focusing on other things. It's like it seems like the whole social angle and sexual orientation angle and gender identity angle is like all consuming with these people, and it's like, who gives a fuck? Let's focus on the real issues.
Yeah.
Like I don't give a shit. Yeah. You know.
I will say, no, I don't usually give a shit either. I think what's so maddening about so much of the rhetoric and the discussion is the light that the LGBT community is painted in, because I finally realized that they're treated like a sickly little kid or like a little lost puppy dog or something. Like during Biden's speech, he was saying they're some of the bravest people he's ever met, and then, you know, if anything, if they get any hate whatsoever, it's like, oh, you poor people go through so much. It's like anyone who's going to push the envelope in any direction, in any subject, is going to get heat. Yeah. And so, like, but we treat these people like anything they do for themselves, of themselves. The bar is set so low, we congratulate them so strongly. Yeah. And then any heat that they're given, or any
criticism.
Yeah, thank you. Any criticism they're given, it's like, that's fucking horrible. How could you be so hateful and say that to them? It's like they're still like, what the fuck? Like, no other person I can think of in any other demographic gets that same sort of treatment. No. Where they're like congratulating them at the same time, like, oh, you can't say anything bad about these people. It's like, what the fuck? It's like, it's so fucked up.
It's definitely weird. And I think kind of like what that dude was talking about, who was against it, that gay dude. I think it's like painting people with these broad rainbow brushstrokes, and it's not valuing them or looking at them as a individual person. It's just saying, oh, you're part of that gay community, and like it totally like disregards any accomplishment they've done as an individual. Yeah. And I think that's a problem.
Yeah, it's a problem. Yeah, so it diminishes them.
Yeah. So anyway, it's weird. You know, the company I work for currently for my day job is super woke, ultra woke. You know, California-based company, and they haven't been as bad lately. Like, I really haven't seen a lot of stuff with like the Pride Month stuff, surprisingly. But you know, a lot of the trainings they do and stuff are like, you know, trans awareness and all this kind of shit. And you know, it gets old. Like, I think, you know, there's people out there like that. Absolutely. You know, I don't wish anything bad on them. I don't hate them or anything like that. Absolutely not. I don't care. Like, I'm like, go live your life, but I don't think that should be a part of my work training.
Yeah. No,
you know what I mean?
Absolutely not.
I think that's stupid. Yeah. Like, go live your life, do your thing. I really don't care.
Yeah.
But I think it's unnecessary.
Yeah.
You know?
And I could even, on your point earlier about how they're like trying to bring kids into it.
Yeah, it's weird.
I wouldn't be as. I'd be like, I'm on the fence because if they were more adult and respectful about it, I could be like, that's okay to introduce it in a certain way. But then you go online, and you see all these pride rallies or parades or whatever the fuck, they're like sucking each other off and stuff. So like, they're being like overtly super sexual in the public eye. And so if you're gonna do that, you can't like force. You know, it's weird. So that's why like that argument is completely dead because of the way they conduct themselves in public.
Yeah,
it's like
it's like Steve Byrne, the comedian. He had a bit on that where he's like, I'm all for it. He's like, I support gay marriage, totally fine. He's like, but come on, guys. He's like, it's 3 in the afternoon, and there's a guy with assless chaps humping another dude in the parade. He's like, I'm trying to take my kid to get to the zoo.
Exactly.
You know? He's like, what are you doing? We're trying to get some ice cream here, and you're like dry humping this dude.
Yeah.
That's kind of like time and a place. You know?
It was like I think I said it on our last podcast, when I went to Comic-Con. And there was like hentai and shit everywhere. It's like it's uncomfortable.
It is.
And there's little kids walking around. I was like, there's a time and place for that. Yeah. It's definitely not now. It's the same thing with all the drag queens, like reading books to kids at school.
That's strange.
That's fucked up.
That's a strange one.
Like it's fine, but like don't.
Yeah.
All that stuff is sexual. And if they're gonna if they're gonna tie in just like sex with being gay via the way they conduct themselves at these public events, then like you certainly cannot be like talking to your kids about that. Oh, do you want to be like this old guy who's getting, who's coming on the streets? It's like, no, I don't think we should be talking about that.
Yeah, there's definitely, and it's tough to talk about because, the critics will, bash you no matter what stance you have. But it seems like the scales always tip too far in one direction. We always talk about that, how it's like, it always has to be an extreme. There can never be like a healthy balance of like, hey, here's a nice little introduction to the world, and here's how things are. It always has to be like really fucking radical.
Yeah,
it's just like I don't get it. I really don't get it. But and also another weird one. I was listening to Rich Cooper's podcast. And actually, our buddy Jaron Scott was on there. It was one of the generals' meetings, and he was on there talking about how he's seen these videos of like ladies, like moms with their little kids that are like fucking little infants and toddlers. And it's like they're like kids that are like toddlers, like their first birthday party and shit. And they're like, oh, I'm so glad that one of my friends got him a Barbie. I hope he grows up to be gay, or I hope he grows up to be my little trans. And I'm like, are you sick in the head?
Fucked up. Yeah.
I'm like, look, if your kid grows up to be gay, support him, absolutely, whatever. That's their choice. That's fine. But when you're forcing your weird narrative onto them, or hoping that they become trans, and like kind of like encouraging it and brainwashing them when they're so impressionable at an early age, like the parents like that are fucked up.
You're super fucked up.
Like you're fucked up, and I don't know if you should have a kid.
No,
A
lot of people are not ready to be parents, but they are.
It's bizarre, man.
It's really sad.
Yeah, even crazy has kids.
Yeah,
even crazy has kids. Don't stick it in crazy. Don't stick it in crazy.
Yeah.
If you do,
that's Ben's new song. It's a new single.
Don't stick it in crazy. I can't take credit for that. I've heard that before. Don't stick it in crazy. But it's my new EP. Don't stick it in crazy.
Oh,
the B-side to that is Prenup.
Yeah.
Prenup.
Beautiful. Yeah.
But crazy stuff. And just I don't know. It feels weird, and it feels like excessive, and it seems like just a strange narrative that the media and the federal government is all on board with, and the giant corporations are all on board with, and it doesn't feel authentic at all. It feels weird. It feels like, okay, this is the narrative we got to go with. Boom. And it's just, I don't know, strange times, dude.
Very strange.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
Yeah. I say live your life, but we can do without the Ford wrapped in rainbows.
Yes.
That's what I can say.
It's a weird look.
Yes. But hey, enjoy your Bud Light, whatever.
Yeah.
No judgment. No judgment.
Bud Light's fine.
Yeah.
And again, all that stuff gets so blown out of proportion on the internet anyway.
For sure.
But, yeah.
Let's see what else is new. I went and saw Noel Gallagher's High Flying Birds. And
fuck?
Garbage.
Holy shit.
Who were not garbage, they were fantastic.
Oh, okay.
And what was weird was I went out to, what's it called now? Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater, aka Auction Pavilion, aka Cricket Pavilion, aka Ashley Home Furniture Ashley Home Furniture Store Pavilion.
Ashley Home Furniture Store.
That was the name before, and then originally it was Desert Sky Pavilion.
Okay, Ashley Home Furniture.
A lot of tongue twisters. But they were great, and what was weird about it was like it was like half full. So the lawn usually holds like 30 some odd thousand people. nobody on the lawn. It was totally empty. So it was super nice. Was able to move down, go from the 200 section to the 100 section. Got real close. I posted a video
Cool.
on the Zen Wave 93
Oh
channel.
yeah, I saw that.
Check it out. And it was a great show, man. And it was so cool. And it was like cool seeing Noel Gallagher also, because he was in Oasis.
Oh.
And he played some Oasis songs. And the audience, like, a lot of people didn't seem to appreciate him, but I really enjoyed it. It was
Cool.
It was a solid show. And I got to come see you with your boy Winston.
Oh, you must. Next show, I think it's in August, but yeah.
Oh, wow, that far out?
Yeah.
Are you going to do any solo shows?
So much more work.
Ooh.
I'm good tomorrow, and then this coming Saturday, I'm going to be working on the album.
Nice.
So
Very nice.
I'll work on that.
Emma's goal is to do an album a year.
Yeah, an album a year. 9
Yes.
songs each.
Then
Album.
eventually you have to take a year off.
Yeah.
You have to do 1 year, like when you're like 35, where you're just like, you put out like 4 songs and you're like, I'm just going to vacation.
Yeah, do an EP
Just
instead.
gonna chill, yeah. Otherwise it could be too much, you know.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
But you never know, the challenge is good.
It's a fun challenge, yeah.
You gotta stay sharp.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
I always find it weird when artists like take like years and years and years off between albums.
It's creativity comes in such weird, irregular waves.
Mm-hmm.
There's been so many droughts of a pod drought.
Yeah.
There's been so many droughts of creativity that I've had that they could last a week or a month or a year or more. It's like scary, but it always comes back.
It does come back,
Right?
right?
It's very strange.
It's like a carousel.
Yeah, I was even like this week. I was writing a lot for like 2 days, and I just fucking stopped. It's very weird. It's very fucking irregular. And now I have more time because I went summer break and everything. But
It comes in waves.
yeah, it does come in waves too. It's very strange.
That's
But
exciting.
it
Do you
always-
already have like a whole arsenal of songs like ready to rock that you're gonna start recording, or are you like,
Yeah.
do you go into the studio like I'm gonna compose while I'm in the studio?
I already know basically what I want to do,
Okay.
and then I have like the great thing about the way I do things is I have like the general chord structure and the melody, and then I just like put some guys that I trust on it and just let them go to town.
Melody
You know, I have-
in my head.
So I lay down the piano and I lay down like my vocals, which are usually like scratch vocals, and then I have Christian, my drummer, come
What's a
in.
scratch vocal?
It's like you just it's like actually All Flowers in Time. Those are scratch vocals because it was never fully released.
They're not like set lyrics.
Right, yeah. Either they're not set lyrics or it's not the final take. You're just like putting it there to put it there.
Okay.
But it's like not as good as you
Like
could
a
have it.
standard?
Yeah. So like, I'd walk in and be like, all right, let's sing the melody just to get it down. Because
Cool.
sometimes I want other backup vocalists on it, so you can kind of build from that.
Then you go back and
scratch.
refine it.
Yeah, then you go back in and do like better takes and.
Cool.
But yeah,
that,
so
scratch vocal.
so I do scratch vocal and piano, and then I put Brandon, my guitar friend, on it, and then Christian, and then it just kind of comes to life.
You should release someday. No pressure. You should, great idea though. You should release a scratch vocal EP.
That'd be cool.
You just release it and like this was like it's almost like a rough draft and you just put it out.
Yeah.
Like be like, all right, scratch vocal EP and have it out in like a week.
That'd be sick. What I used to do was kind of like that because I used to live record everything. Like you'd actually have that band there the whole time and then just do it.
I think that's very hard.
Yeah. I always thought it's weird because it shows more musicianship.
Mm-hmm.
If you can just do it and then it's done, like that's impressive, right?
Yeah.
And so the other thing, my thought was like, if we were to do it live, it would sound exactly the same because we essentially just did it live, just in a studio. But people,
cool.
Yeah, but people who aren't like in music don't appreciate it. They don't really notice it, you know.
Yeah.
They don't. It doesn't occur to them.
Yeah.
And so it's more beneficial to do like one instrument at a time
Yeah.
recording because it's just cleaner. It sounds better.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it used to be fun and there was more of an
Fun-
energy
fun
to
when you
it.
play together.
Yeah, more of an energy, more of a camaraderie because you're actually just doing it together. Recording one thing at a time it's cool because you can make it sound like really, really perfect, but it's more just like boring. There's lots of sitting and it's weird. Yeah,
Everyone does their turn.
Yeah.
What's the most amount of takes it ever took for a song? Like, do you have one in your mind where you're like, okay, we did this like an excessive amount of times? Like,
yeah. I mean, I guess it depends on how hard the song was. There's some songs where sometimes I'll write a melody on the piano and that makes it more like angular and difficult to sing because I'm not thinking about my voice. I'm just like, this sounds cool on the piano. And I try to sing it. I'm like, holy shit,
You gotta
it's
go
like
along with
kind
it.
of out of my range. There's some really long leaps, big
Cool.
leaps. And but I would have to really practice it. And so I've been getting lazy because I know I can just do as many takes as I need to.
For sure.
So
you're the Beatles post 1966.
exactly, yeah.
You've done your last show. Yeah,
So I
we're on the
definitely,
studio.
and I always feel guilty. I feel like I need to come into the studio and I'm just like ready to go. But I played piano for a lot of other musicians who come into the studio. They have no fucking concept of what they want to do, which is crazy to me because the time is money in the studio.
Yeah.
And they'll just be there all day, like, this might be cool. Let's give it a shot.
It's
and
weird.
I'm like,
You should go in with a plan.
Yeah. You gotta go. Yeah. It's very bizarre. Yeah.
It's like going to a movie set and you're like, I don't know.
Yeah, but I don't know, a lot of
Don't you have a
lazy-
script?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Weird.
there's a lot of weird lazy musicians that will come in, and my friend Chris, who records me, he's great. He says people will come in and they don't even have an idea at all. They're just like, "What do I want to do?" And it's like, what?
Wow.
You're supposed to do that on your own time, and then
Wow.
it's very
I feel like a lot of
selfish.
aspiring singer Scottsdale girls with a shit ton of their dad's money.
yeah.
They go in like,
Yeah, they have like the backwards thought process.
Yeah.
And they're like, let's just go into the studio and then maybe it'll force an idea. I don't even know what that thought process
That's
is. Very strange.
it's an odd move.
Yeah, really weird.
That's an odd move. Well, good luck with it, man. Keep us posted. I do want to see the Winston show too.
Yeah, those are fun. Those are super fun.
That should be good. I do want to pick up a bass guitar one of these days.
You
I'm
should.
thinking it'd be fun. Doesn't Baldy play? You said?
He plays bass. Yeah, he's
Cool.
learning guitar.
Slapping the bass, man.
I was looking through really old recordings because I was trying to. The thing I've been writing lately was an old idea, and I was trying to see if I could drudge up any old notes I had about it. 'Cause
Sure.
it's been and so I looked through my old phone, and I had all these little audio clips saved.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't find what I was looking for, but I did find a recording of you and me
Really?
playing together.
Really?
Because you had lyrics a long time ago.
Oh.
And you had an idea for melody, and I was like putting chords to it. And
Oh,
it was
shit.
literally like, and sometimes we were singing it together.
That's cool.
Sometimes it was just you and it was me playing piano. It was
Oh,
really
that's sick.
cool. Yeah,
Was it okay?
Yeah, it was cool. It sounded good.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just send it to you.
There was a phase where I was really
Yeah.
into music. Obviously, I fell out of it, but I'd like to get back into it. When
Yeah.
I was, I would say about 11, 12, and then through my teenage years, all the way up until about 19 or 20, I played guitar like really frequently. Like I was like okay at it. You know, I was a decent guitar player. I was never great. I was never really that good, but like I played like as a hobby, you know. And recorded a couple things with one of my buddies, and I kind of left it at that and fell out of it and got lazy. And I dabbled in piano, like I would say like 12, 13, 14, around there. I played piano. And I liked it, but I wish I would have stuck with it. But I think just for fun as a hobby, I'd like to get back into
Yeah, you
it.
totally should.
I think
Yeah.
it'd be fun. That's great. I didn't know we ever did it.
Yeah, it was cool.
I do remember that. Yeah, we played like
Mhm.
on your mom's piano.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
fun. It was fun.
My flannel's far too itchy.
Oh,
It wasn't that. It was a serious song.
Oh, we did that one
But
too.
we did the American Spunk song.
I forgot about that. Yeah, fuck.
And my beard.
That was
is
fun.
dumb. Yeah.
I'll tell you what. If you guys want to see that, we'll post them for the patrons.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll be posted on the Patreon roughly around the time this comes out. And join the Patreon below if you guys want to hear our jams.
Yes.
Yeah, the unphased album, the unreleased cold cuts.
Those would be scratch vocals because it's just like
Yes,
practicing.
they
Yeah.
I forgot about we did the Spunk song.
Yeah,
too.
we did this fun song.
That was actually
Yeah.
funny as
It
fuck.
was really funny.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can find that.
Let me back into it. Yeah, get back into it. Yeah, but as far as the Patreon goes, guys, definitely consider joining.
Please join.
You know, you pay money for Netflix, you pay money for HBO, you pay money for Hulu. What are you doing? You don't even watch Disney
Come
Plus
on.
anymore. Come on.
Come on.
Anyway, you want to throw us $1? You want to throw us $2? You want to throw us $3? You want to throw us $100? I don't care. But I was thinking about doing a mini podcast just for the patrons. And obviously, the more patrons we get, the longer the Patreon podcast episodes will go. So right now, I think we have like 6 or 7 patrons. So you're looking at probably about a 10-minute mini podcast we'll give you. But let's say that number of patrons multiplies, up to 15 or 20. You'll be getting maybe a half-hour podcast. So definitely consider becoming a patron and look for a Patreon exclusive podcast coming within the next few days. Quack. Anywho, what else is new in the unfazed world? Took a trip up to Wickenburg.
Oh yes, I saw that. That was interesting.
That was bizarre, yeah.
Ghost
So
town.
did you guys like that? I did the coin toss.
That
I
was
got
a
this.
cool coin. Yeah.
Thank you. I got it on Amazon actually, and it's like this mysterious looking gypsy, fortune teller type coin, and I think it's just a reproduction, but it looks really cool. And I just bought it on a whim. I don't know. I saw it, thought, that seems cool,
Yeah.
and had it, sitting on my desk for a long time. And then I thought I should do something with that. And then I thought, what can I use it for? I'm like, well, yes or no, pretty basic stuff. I'm like, let's have it make some decisions. So I turned that into a vlog, and it was actually a lot of fun. It was kind of a test run for doing that. I'd like to do it on a bigger scale. I think it would be cool to do something like that and like, okay, should we book a flight somewhere? Should we go somewhere crazy? Really make it like a big grand
That would
adventure
be cool.
sometime. But this was just kind of a trial run, but I think it was pretty cool. And Wickenburg, like, obviously I've been there hundreds of times. My grandma used to live up there. And, I hadn't been in a long time because, she passed away a few years ago, and there's really no reason to go back up there. And I've always had a weird feeling from Wickenburg, but last time I went was super weird because it was, like, abandoned. And it was like nothing but mannequins running the town, which was strange, but kind of cool.
I don't think it would normally occur to us because it is just like a regular place fairly close to where we live, but it's a creepy name. Wickenburg.
Yeah.
It's creepy. It's like some shit would be going on there.
It was strange. And it was, what's very interesting about it? That video was totally authentic. Like, I didn't fake anything. Like, literally, like, when the coin told me no to go into that bar, I was like, fuck, I really want to go in this bar and check it out. I was like, it looks really cool. Like, I saw it and I'm like, this place looked like it's like the only thing happening in this town, and there were people inside.
Oh no!
And I'm like, I really want to go in. And I'm like, the coin. Here's my thing. I flipped it. And I'm like, the coin told me no.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, they don't have to know. I'll just go in. But I didn't. I literally was like, you know what? I got to obey the coin.
That's so fucking.
And so the second place, no. I was like, fuck, I really want to go. I was like, I drove all the way up here and I'm not going to go in anywhere. It's like psychotic. But I did not. Like, I obeyed the coin. Everything you see in the video is real.
It also didn't let you go to McDonald's or Taco Bell.
No,
you had to get the fucking chicken wrap.
I ate a chicken Caesar wrap
from fucking Albertsons.
Yeah, and let me tell you, my stomach was upset.
Oh no! The coin really fucked you up there.
I know, it really fucked me up. But yeah, and then it was. Thank God it said yes for the cemetery.
Oh yeah.
Because dude, if I wouldn't have done that, I probably wouldn't have posted the vlog because like there would have been nothing happening at all.
Oh, yeah.
So luckily it was like fucking cemetery. I was like, finally something. And I know it was kind of an underwhelming cemetery, but it was something. I needed something to fucking bookend the story.
That's so fucking funny.
But what was cool about that Garcia? Shout out to Garcia Cemetery. I mentioned it in the video, like. Just a chill. It almost seemed like a family cemetery. Like it was very small, maybe 100 some odd graves. And I walked to the far end of it, and there were these graves that were more recent. There's one that was like 2018 and one that was like 2012. And considering all the rest were like 1920 or 1900 and shit like that, they were pretty recent. And they were both young dudes, which was sad. They were like guys that looked like they died like. There was one guy that died right at 30, and there was another guy that died when he was like 21. It was like really sad. Just out of respect for them because they were so recent, I didn't record them. And there was like a picture of one of the guys on there, like in his like baseball outfit, and I was like, oh man. And there was like a basketball on one and a football on the other, and like some, I think actually there were Bud Light bottles on there. They were very gay guys.
Yeah.
And just kidding. But they, people had been there and paid their respects and put stuff on the graves. And it's so weird. I went up there and like I said, I was not in a ghost hunting mindset. I was there just checking it out. Sun was still up. And I just got that electric feeling, like walking into the room in Terror Trader.
Yeah.
Like literally hair on the arm standing up, goosebumps, and like this like heavy feeling. And I'm just like, ooh, weird.
Yeah.
And then that feeling of like being watched. I'm like, dude, the sun is still up. Like, usually you get that feeling at night when you're alone in a place like that, but very rarely do you have that at like, 6 o'clock in the evening in a place like that, or 5, whatever time it was.
That's interesting.
And it was really pervasive and really strong, and I told him, I was like, hey, just passing through, guys, with all due respect, I hope you're in a better place, goodbye. And I moved away, and like the feeling kind of lingered until I actually left the gates of the cemetery.
Shoot.
And it was really heavy, and I don't know if you can really tell in the video, but like I was like, I gotta get out of here. Like,
You're in tune with that stuff. It's interesting.
Yeah, it was one of those where I was like, as soon as I felt it, I'm like, yeah, time to go. Bye.
Yeah.
And it was intense, but I'm glad I went. I'm glad I tried it. But I would like to do it with you at some point and do a bigger scale one.
That'd be cool.
I actually bought 2 of those coins.
Really?
So you're welcome to have the other one.
We can be two-faced together. Yeah.
They're pretty cool. They came in like these coin protectors, and they're actually really neat.
That's it.
They have some heft to them.
Nice. Very cool.
It's kind of cool. But anyway, guys, time for a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with more unfazed debauchery.
This place has a way of making us think about the kind of future our young people will have. Everything we do here, we weigh on tomorrow's scales. Keeping our economy strong and free from the terrible inflation of a few years ago will bring stability into the lives of those just beginning their families. Keeping taxes down and big government under control encourage creativity and economic freedom. These will expand new employment opportunities so important to those just leaving school for their first jobs. And keeping America strong and always searching for peace, well, nothing is more important than that. This magnificent house is 192 years old now. It stands watch on our stewardship, a guardian for future generations. What we do here may be important, but what we leave behind is even more important. I take no obligation more seriously.
President Reagan, leadership that's working.
Batman's battle against crime never ends. And now you can bring the action home.
Batman, ha-ha, you missed. Yeah, but I only missed once. You can't escape Joker. Just watch if you can. You won't be alone for long.
And in the Batcave.
No criminal can hide from Batman. Batman, gotta run to jail.
Each item sold separately from Toy Biz.
There's just a one, and there's no mistaking it one.
Hello, Joe. What do you know?
Faking it one. Just for the feeling.
All right, let's sample a bottle.
With real attraction.
I'll make it two. One for you and one for me.
Just for the taste.
Now we're getting warm.
Diet Coke.
Hello and welcome back from that brief but necessary intermission.
So necessary.
Did you get anything good? Did you see any products you can't live without? My arms are sore. I worked out with Emmett earlier. We went to the gym and we pumped iron. We got all pumped up. There's a new Arnold Schwarzenegger documentary out. I want to do iron.
And
I want to do bumper.
don't forget to check out Fubar on Netflix.
Oh, it's so bad.
What's this? Why do you need the...
Dad, that's my vibrator. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Let me just say, I love Arnold. Arnold is the man. I'm a lifelong fan. He's great. I love his movies. He's awesome. That being said, Fubar, first episode, total crap.
Your daughter is a Agent 2?
Yeah, whoa. It's like True Lies, but more Netflixy and shitty. Will I go back and watch more of it? Maybe, but it was rough. It was not good. It was just shitty. But I love Arnold. I will watch his documentary on Netflix, but the Fubar, not too good. Not too good. But you know what is good? The Dudesy AI podcast. It is with Will Sasso, who you may know from Mad TV, comedic genius, and Chad, I forget his buddy's last name, but he's also very funny. He's a screenwriter. He wrote the Magnificent Burt Wonderstone, the movie with Steve Carell. So he's famous in his own right with his own little writing and screenwriting career. But they really play off each other well, and it's called Dudesy, Dudesey podcast. And the podcast, the whole concept behind it is it's run by AI. So there's this AI system that gives them prompts and topics to talk about. It gives them assignments. It'll say Will Sasso, dress up like the Crow, and he'll be the fucking Brandon Lee the Crow.
So they do while they're filming, they just have to start.
Yeah, well they'll do it the next time.
It's fine.
And they'll be like, watch The Running Man and come back and talk about it. And then they'll it's so funny. They're I'm not making it funny at all when I talk about it, but it's so funny, dude. It was a podcast I was listening to at work, and I had to stop because I was laughing so hard I was crying.
Oh my God.
It cracked me up. So it's one of the funniest things I've heard in a while.
Yeah.
So after you're done listening to the Unfazed Review podcast, check out Dudesy, an AI podcast with Will Sasso. Funniest fucking shit I've heard in a long time.
Dude, all right.
It's amazing. Another note I wanted to talk about before we get into the emails and such and the Instagram. There used to be this YouTube channel that I really like to follow called Keeping It Keith, or Keeping It Keith, and that's the guy's name, Keith, Keith, and he was kind of he'd talk about dating, he would talk about a little bit about politics. He was more kind of almost like Rich Cooper, but a little more casual. Sometimes he would just do regular videos around his house, kind of little vlogs and stuff, and he bought this old Corvette and would do videos on fixing it up, and he was just this cool, just regular dude. You could tell he had a regular life, but he was starting to get a little bit of a following. I think he had around 30 some odd thousand subscribers. So nothing huge, but a substantial following was starting for sure on his channel. And I always really enjoyed him. He had really fun stuff, and he started doing more frequent stuff where he was doing, I think, live streams more often. And he was starting to touch a little more on politics, I noticed. He was getting more into social issues and politics, but nothing crazy, nothing excessive. But recently I went to check out his channel. I was just taking a walk, and I'm like, oh man, I haven't seen any posts from him in a couple months. I'd like to, see what he's doing. Everything on his channel wiped clean. No videos, no content, nothing.
No.
There's just a community tab, like we have on YouTube, and it was like a post he did of like, a month or so ago of like, just like some repost that he thought was funny.
Right.
And I don't remember what it was. It was like nothing political or anything. It was kind of just like a whatever post. But all his videos gone, like from the last like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, my hope is that maybe he got fed up with the censorship of this platform and moved over to maybe something like Rumble or something like that, or Patreon only maybe, and has just posted stuff on there. Fingers crossed. I haven't been able to find it on those platforms, but I didn't actually check Patreon, so who knows. But and he's also not on Instagram, so there was no way to like look and see if there was an update.
Does he have a Patreon?
I don't know how to find it. I would have to look. But anyway, I'll do a little more research and maybe next time. Well, actually, let's look it up right now while we're talking.
That's weird. It's unusual for a YouTube channel to go down. Usually it'd be like a Twitter or an Instagram or something. YouTube's usually like the main hub.
And what's weird about it though is the community tab's still there. So I'm almost wondering, did he do this on his own or was it taken down? So let's see.
He probably forgot he made that post.
Let's see. Keeping it
But
Keith.
I don't know.
Let's do, what is it, Rumble? That's like the popular one now?
Yeah.
Let's see. Keeping it Keith Rumble.
I don't know much about Rumble.
I have never been on it really.
Should Unfazed get on Rumble? You decide.
I mean, I never go on there, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's just type in Keeping It Keith and see what pops up. Because like I said, not a huge channel, but 30,000 subscribers. He was.
That's his channel, but there's still just nothing there.
Shane Gillis. Okay, so home. Look, this channel.
He's still got all the subs.
So he has 31.8 thousand subscribers. Keeping It Keith. No videos. And I would say he had, well over 100 videos.
Is it a playlist?
My favorite videos.
he's watching.
So the last Home Improvement.
No, what's that guy's name? John Tron. He's watching John Tron.
That's funny. Keeping It Keith. So the last post was 1 month ago. It says, on a story about a single childless 36-year-old woman who loves all her tattoos, was an ad for cat food. And it just shows a girl with tattoos and a cat.
Check the comments on it. See if anyone's, because that's the only place they can say anything.
Sure.
Now, right?
1 month ago, targeting their demographic. They know how could they not know?
Missed your brother. Hope things are well. Hey, Keith, they don't see your videos anymore.
Did they get censored?
No response.
No response. That was a month ago.
Let us
know what happened. All your material is gone. What happened? Everything is gone. Bro, all videos are gone. YouTube asked you? 1 month ago.
I don't know.
I don't know, man. And then channels, about. Let's check his about. Okay, so does he have no website?
You can email.
Oh, Patreon support.
Patreon.
Let's check his Patreon. Okay. Anyway, it's concerning because like it was someone who was making good content. He was really on his way up. Okay, here we go. Every young man should know. Keeping It Keith, creating fun content. Keeping It Keith, become a patron. Yada yada. Let's see. More coming soon. He hasn't posted on the Patreon since 2019.
Oh no!
All right, it looks like there's a link to. Oh shit! It looks like he's got an Instagram, but it's like there's this Corvette that he was working on.
Okay.
Looks like it's more for his eBay store.
You can follow and message him.
Yeah, true. See what happens.
You're a bigger account than him on Instagram.
Sure. Well, I'll follow him and we'll shoot him a message later. But my point is, it's weird to see creators disappear, and I'm hoping it was, on his own accord, and like it was his choice to leave, and maybe he did switch over to Rumble and maybe change his account name, and who knows, maybe the stuff is still out there.
Or he was assassinated.
And that would be a bummer too.
No cap.
But also, the fear that's really on the tip of my tongue, and obviously on a lot of his viewers' comments there, was that he got axed. Maybe he got a little too political. Maybe he was striking a nerve, and he's gone. And I don't know. I hope not. I hope that's not the case. But nowadays, it seems like it could be a possibility.
Yeah, I know a lot of people, will get shadow banned on YouTube, and now if you talk ill of transgenderism on YouTube, you get at least shadow banned as well. But straight up deleting shit, that's pretty bold. That's only if an actual hateful racist or a pedophile or something.
Everything that I saw from him was pretty innocuous and more just kind of in the vein of Rich Cooper,
right?
Where it was more kind of real talk.
Yeah, I remember you showing me some of the stuff. It was good.
And I never saw anything hateful from him. I never saw anything bad. But I don't know, man. Weird stuff.
It was dating relationship advice and shit like that. Yeah, it was good.
No, he was good. He was smart, funny, but I don't know. I don't know really where I was going with that.
Well,
it's just
if
a
he did
bummer.
it, it's interesting if he did it of his own accord. Maybe it was small enough that if he was like looking for a job, he felt threatened by having that stuff there. You know?
Maybe, yeah.
Um,
I just hate to see stuff like that go away.
I
Like,
know, yeah.
especially when it's like content that's, you know, offering some value to people.
Yeah.
Especially young men. It's like not even just young men, but men in general.
Yeah.
It's like there was a lot of stuff on there where it's just like, oh man, this guy's like, you know, he's got an unfazed mind. Like, he's putting stuff out there where it's just like, man, like people need to hear more of this. It's like kind of a wake up call, you know. And you see stuff like that go away, and it's just like, oh man, that sucks.
Yeah.
Anyway, so if you guys are putting stuff out there, keep doing it.
Keep it there. Yeah.
Keep doing it. And the whole job thing, like, can I be honest with you guys? My corporate job that I have right now, like, I work for a pretty big company in tech, and I have an office job, and I put unfazed on my resume.
That's badass. That's basic.
And I still got hired, and they're pretty woke,
liberal,
you know,
yeah.
Traditionally tech company,
Yeah.
and it didn't hurt me at all.
Yeah.
I don't think they're really looking that deep. You know?
I wasn't that direct, but I do on LinkedIn. I have some like Lefebvre's gets nice shit.
There you go.
Yeah.
So honestly, I don't think it's that big of a deal. As long as you're not, you know, bringing the two worlds together, I think you're fine. Yeah.
Yeah, and usually the job I have now, I remember specifically they said like we don't give a shit what you have on the internet as long as you don't explicitly say that you work for this company.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
and that's what I said. I don't mention the company I work for, GoDaddy.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm joking. I don't work for GoDaddy. But
GoDaddy.
Totally kidding. But yeah, it's like you keep the worlds separate. You don't let the worlds collide.
Yeah.
And I think you're good. And as long as you're, you know, not revealing trade secrets, I think you're golden. But
the funniest one, and you guys know I'm a teacher. I had a student.
Holy shit, you're a teacher.
Year before last year, I had a student dive so far into like my shit online that he saw our Sedona vlog.
Wow.
He was like, "Yeah, it's just funny when I saw your Sedona vlog. You got pretty mad at the end there because I was doing that like poor man Sam Hyde where I had the beer and I was like ripping on the
That was
spiritual." It was funny that he fucking saw it.
That's
like
hilarious.
8th grade kid saw me like
That's hilarious.
blasting these Sedonans.
That's great. I mean, there's worse things you could be watching.
Yeah.
Worse things.
That's true.
I like to think that our stuff, as zany as it can get, it's good.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the lessons we put out there on the pod are good too.
Yeah.
And if anything, it's entertaining. Right?
It is.
That's the point. That's the fucking point. You know what I was thinking about doing for the channel? I was thinking about getting into more rants because Emmett and I love doing rants. Emmett's the king of rants. But I was thinking about doing some rants myself too. I've got actually a lot of stuff, actually a lot of like kind of like nerdy pop culture content that I want to kind of dive into and talk about. So if you guys would like some of that, I don't care. I'm gonna give it to you either way. But I've actually got like quite the arsenal of content. So you're gonna start
an example.
Sure. Well, we can talk about it a little bit right now while it's still fresh. You know, look for a video soon. The Punisher. They really did the Punisher dirty.
Yeah.
And if you guys don't know, I'll give you a little background on it. Whoever's writing the final comics for the Punisher, a character that they retired now, sadly, they obviously hate the fucking character because I love the Punisher personally. I know you do too, but they really just bent him over and fucked him in the worst kind of way.
Yeah.
They took away his logo because now it's associated with like vigilantes and police. And they like got rid of the cool skull logo, which is just a badass logo, and they turned it into this like more like Japanese looking variation with like horns and stuff. And then the Punisher now in this current series doesn't have any guns, which is so shitty. It's like what they did to the Lone Ranger.
He's got ninja blades.
He's got swords and shit. So the Punisher has no guns and no cool logo. And then what they did that was just sickening at the end was they had his wife come back from the dead and say she was planning on divorcing him the day that they were, you know, she and her son were murdered. And basically everything that he did was for nothing, and that he should still be prepared to divvy up half of his stuff and like give it away because that's what was going to happen anyway.
That's so.
And it was like
lame.
such a shitty way to end the character, and so disrespectful to fans of the Punisher.
Yeah.
And then at the end, like they exile him to this alternate universe where he's like this guardian for these stupid little kids wandering through the desert. And it was like the dumbest fucking way to retire the character that like they possibly could have gone with.
They punished the Punisher.
They punished the Punisher, and they, worst of all, they punished the fans of the Punisher.
Yeah.
So I just kind of want to.
You do need to do a rant on
I want
that
to
for sure. Yeah.
clap back at that.
No cap.
Bet.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, you know, that's bullshit. And clearly, whoever is in charge of that, I forget the name of the author of that particular run of comics, but fuck that guy. Like what a terrible move. And I get it. You don't like the character. You want to be ultra woke and not have any kind of gun violence associated with the Punisher. Like you're an idiot. So anyway, expect a video on that. But that's something I want to talk about. But how do you feel about it? First of all,
it fucking blows. I feel I'm used to this kind of thing because of Star Wars now, and I'm almost like desensitized.
Sadly,
yeah. But as you said, it doesn't even feel like the Punisher.
Well, it's
not.
so excessive.
Yeah. And it's so sad because they can these like sad writers and just pathetic people feel like when they have the rights to these characters, they get on this weird power trip and feel like they can do anything they want to with it. This feels like what he did.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, in terms of the writing and the character and the story, it's not the Punisher.
No.
Yeah, it officially is, but again, you got to remember that, like all this shit is make believe.
It's like Disney Star Wars.
Yeah. And it's exactly like that. And the fans give it life, and the fans are unanimously agreeing that this is bullshit. So it's not legit.
I look at it and I'm like, well, for me, I'm like, this is not canon.
Yeah, exactly.
This is not the Frank Castle I know and love. And honestly, the illustration's like not my type of style for this run of comics. So I don't take it seriously at all.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, my Punisher was like 80s and 90s and early 2000s Punisher, where he was a badass. He had guns. He was a vigilante. He would kill people. Like he was a badass. Yeah. And Punisher Warzone, Punisher War Journal, Thomas Jane Punisher, the Punisher video coming soon. That's my Punisher. And this honestly just strengthens that older version of the Punisher for me and makes him more badass and more eternal.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah, so I think it was such a stupid move, but I want to do a little rant on that. I might start with a little short and see how it's received, and maybe I'll just dice this up into a single video.
I wonder if that actor has a statement about it, if he even knows.
That would be interesting. Yeah, Thomas Jane is, in my opinion, the best Punisher. I know a lot of people love John Bernthal. He did fine, but hashtag not my Punisher. He was fine. Like John Bernthal did an okay job. Like nothing against him. The action was really good on the show. I like the crossover with Daredevil that they did. But just personally, just because of who I grew up with, I prefer Thomas Jane.
Yeah.
I think Thomas Jane was, in my opinion, a better embodiment of the character. I also really loved him because he did the voice in the video game, so like I heard him as the Punisher a lot more. And I watched the shit out of that movie because
he defined the Punisher.
Yeah, like that movie came out when I was like 11, so it was like the perfect time to be like, But John Bernthal, fine job. Nothing against him. That other dude who recently passed away, I forget his name, from Punisher, I think Warzone, that one that they did. It was like a weird like one in between Thomas Jane and John Bernthal.
I don't know about that one.
I never really got into that one. It was like really over the top, but I know a lot of people that's like their favorite Punisher movie. But yeah, no hate on any of those guys, but I just love the character of the Punisher, and it's sad to see him run into the ground like that and just pissed on, But that's the type of stuff I want to rant about. Another thing I want to talk about too, not really in a rant sense, but more just kind of a fun video, is John Carpenter has a video game coming out.
Oh my god!
He like did all the concepts for it and everything.
Shit.
And I love John Carpenter. He's one of my all-time favorite directors. But I saw the trailer for the game. It's not bringing anything new to the table. It's a zombie game. It's a zombie shoot 'em up game. And I'm like, all right.
He's doing it because he could probably. Oh,
and it's
cool.
It's one of those where it's like, am I glad it's coming out? For sure.
Yeah.
Will I play it? Probably. Yeah. It looks fine. But is it bringing anything new to the arena? No. And so that kind of gave me the idea for a video where I was like, okay, what of John Carpenter's films and stories would be better to be adapted into a video game? And I'm going to do my top 5, and obviously it's going to include like Escape from New York as an open world game, and like The Thing and stuff like that. Yeah. And I won't tell you my other picks, but I think those would be really cool.
There should be a Thing game.
There should be, yeah.
That's the perfect premise. It's like Among Us, but just better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think Escape from New York as an open world game would be
incredible.
The best. You could also do Escape from LA, Escape from wherever. You could make it a continuous series.
Yeah, shit,
but dude, Escape from New York as a game would be like so much fun.
Yeah, what the fuck? Why doesn't that happen before?
I know, but I think those would be a lot better. Like I said, I'm glad we're getting something from John Carpenter because at his age, I don't know if we're going to get another movie or a show. Although, fingers crossed, I hope we do. I know he's pretty much focused just on making music now.
Yeah,
but I'm glad we're getting something. But zombies, I mean, come on.
Yeah,
We've had a lot of zombies.
Does it at least look unique or anything, or is it just kind of?
Not really. I mean, and I know a lot of people will be like, "Oh, don't hate on it." I'm not hating on it. I'll probably play it, but I just feel like with John Carpenter, I was expecting something with a little more of a thematic feel.
Yeah. He's always very distinctive.
Yeah. He kind of looked like that game Days Gone.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, did you ever play that?
Yeah.
It looked kind of like that, but a little more of like a, I don't know, kind of like a mix of like Days Gone and like Doom, like kind of like over the top,
Okay.
like, you know, monsters and shit.
All right.
But yeah, we'll see. I'm just glad he's doing something. But keep an eye out for a John Carpenter video too within the next week or so.
Oh,
I got some stuff cooking.
That's some nice stuff cooking.
Yeah, I got a few things. on the old unfazed review. We got a couple like social experiment ones we were thinking about doing too. Should we tell them about the mall today?
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. So go ahead. Lead off.
It was basically an Impractical Joker, like dipping our toes in Impractical Jokers type thing. It seems like lame to talk about it, but it was fun actually doing it.
It was a blast. Yeah.
We would.
It does sound stupid.
We would pick someone that we would have to, for the other person to nod at, and they would have to nod back, and they get a point.
Sounds
and
stupid.
that's it. And then, but yeah, it sounds stupid, but it was actually like kind of fun.
And difficult.
Yeah, weirdly difficult, because so many people are on their phone, and so many people are like, don't even want to look at anyone.
And we had stipulations where it's like, you can't say hi or hey, you can't like verbally address them.
You have to just get their eye contact naturally.
You can't wave.
Yeah.
It has to be like getting eye contact, and you have to either, or...
Yeah.
And then you have to elicit a response with a smile or a nod back from them. And it's like, I had some people where, I'd nod at them, and there was like one lady that like looked and like didn't even acknowledge. Yeah. Like, I know it registered, but like, but obviously it's like, we probably look like creeps.
And then I had one woman kind of like scoff and then give me almost this pity smile.
She was very hot. It was almost like you're complimenting someone's car, and then I know.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it was funny though.
It is perfect.
Yeah. And there was one woman I kept, the woman in what was it, Dillard's or whatever.
Yeah.
I kept trying to go after, and man, she was not having it.
He was like this old East Indian lady.
Yeah, and there was one guy, there was that older man sitting down, and I pretended to drop my keys to try, and it didn't even look.
Unfazed.
Yeah, he was unfazed, yeah. So
we
got pretty... that man had W Riz.
Yeah, man. Yeah. That was a real L.
Yeah, that was a real L. But it was fun, and if you guys would want to see that type of just straight up Impractical Jokers content from us, then I'd be down to do some that type of thing. Bet. Yeah, bet.
Yeah, I think it'd be a real W for the channel.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Cap.
It was it was surprisingly like addicting and entertaining.
It was very fun. Yeah, it was very fun. And I know it sounds silly, but when you look at how detached our society is and how like focused people are on like their phones and shit, it was like really difficult.
It was difficult.
I think altogether we had about 6 people acknowledge us each over the course of like an hour, and we probably talked to a good like 30 people.
That's right.
So that's
And so many people I noticed subconsciously look away from the passersby. There are people you'd walk up to and like they'll be coming this way, and then they just like look the other. It's weird.
I got the most responses from older dudes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think because a lot of chicks think you're trying to hit on them.
Yeah,
which makes sense. It's like a defense mechanism because they're so hot.
Right.
But the dudes are more like, oh yeah, what's up?
Yeah.
So there was what was kind of cool about it too was when we left, we were in a friendlier mood. And it was like we went to Emmett's apartment and like walked by and like it was easier to talk to people.
Yeah,
it like loosened us up. It was like a social exercise.
It breaks the ice, just globally,
So if you guys want to try that, I feel like that's the nod game.
Yeah, the nod game.
Yeah. Or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
but it was fun. And we were also saying too, if we're going to do stand up, when we do stand up. It's a good warm up exercise, and you could also implement, maybe saying certain things to people or whatever, because it breaks you out of your shell. Like we're so used to not talking to people and just floating through life and kind of like keeping to ourselves.
Right. Yeah.
It was cool.
It was cool. It was fun.
It was super cool. And I usually hate like that kind of shit. Like when you talk, I love Impractical Jokers. Those guys are an exception.
Yeah.
I think they're great. But a lot of the prank videos and shit, I fucking hate those.
Yeah.
Like the ones you see on TikTok and stuff, like I despise those.
Yeah.
So I don't want to do anything like that. But like more like social experiment games, that are like a little more harmless. I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But like the straight up like, I'm in a rabbit suit and gonna jump out at someone like, go die.
Yeah. And I think the difference with Impractical Jokers is that they're the ones who look silly, and they're the ones that like have the heat on them.
Yeah.
With other
I love those guys.
with other prank guys, it's like they're either trying to make someone else look dumb or they're like in a suit or something, so that they're not at fault or there's no pressure on them.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Pressure cooker machine.
Yeah, and Practical Jokers, that type of stuff is like humbling because it's like it's hard to do. It's fucking scary.
It's cool that most of those guys have gotten into stand up too.
Yeah.
I saw Joe Gatto, and Steve Byrne, who I love.
Joe Gatto.
Joe was great, super funny. Steve Byrne opened for him, who I'm a huge fan
That's
of.
cool.
If you guys don't know Steve, check out Steve Byrne. He's like amazing. He's like Joe List level funny. Like he's great.
Cool.
But I saw them and they were great. And I know Sal Volcano. He's doing stand up. He's on a lot of podcasts. I know Q, the actor.
Does Q do stand up?
Q, I don't think he does stand up, but he does acting.
Oh.
And I've seen him in some different stuff.
What?
There's like some show where they're like, I think like firefighters or EMTs or something. And it's like a comedy.
He used to be a firefighter.
Yeah, he's the actor on it. And then
so funny.
I don't know. I think
James Murray is a writer.
I love Murray. He's a writer.
Yeah.
He's super
He
funny.
comes out with like horror novels.
Really? He's great. I always really liked him. On the show, I love them all, but I think Murray might have been my favorite.
He's funny, yeah. He's the odd man out.
He's great, but I think they do some kind of live Impractical Joker show, so I think he's like more into like the improv side.
They tour, yeah.
So they're all doing some kind of live touring, which I love, man. I think they're super great.
Yeah,
well, anyway, it's time for one more commercial break, and we'll come back with some emails and some Instagram and some stuff.
Napoleon, Alexander the Great, Donald Trump. We're all cut from the same cloth, and that cloth is very, very large.
It's not too big, is it?
No.
Why do New Yorkers have such big mouths?
Go big or go home.
Because they eat big pizza like the big New Yorker from Pizza Hut. We're talking 40% bigger. Soft, fresh dough with all your favorite toppings. Now from just $9.95.
You gotta be losing money on this.
13166.
Pizza Hut!
RoboCop. Enemy jets ahead. Bombs everywhere. Citizen needs rescue.
RoboCop's gotta wake up Rexor. He's crouching when he wakes up. RoboCop's hurt! Do Cyberlab for repairs.
RoboCop reporting for duty.
Cyberlab computer says emergency alarm. Quick, the pro! We saved it! Yeah! New leg, new arm, new program. Awesome!
RoboCop Cyberlab comes with all this. Other figures and vehicles sold separately. Batteries not included.
Young Bobby Engels has a problem. He needs to earn the respect of his peers. So he gets the special Sega Genesis fighting system. It comes with Streets of Rage 2. He saves $40. He gets more moves. He gets more control. Now things are pretty much okay.
I said chocolate chip. Say it. Say it.
The days melt into each other like a smooth batch of butter. Hello and welcome back from that brief but necessary intermission. We loaded up on some more water, we took a pee-pee, and now it's time to dive into the... Emmett's going to do the Instagram topics, I'm going to do the email topics.
Yeah.
We'll alternate,
This first one is very... what it states is very interesting, but there's no like follow-up.
Sure.
Japanese researchers successfully developed a device that will be able to literally play back your dreams in video sequence. Holy shit. Is that true?
Yeah, that's what I mean,
that's crazy.
According to Facts Daily.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but it's Facts Daily with 2 Y's.
That makes them double the amount of reputable.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't know. That's insane to me, though,
Yeah, no, that's wild.
I feel like... I don't know. If that's true, that fucking blows my mind.
Well, I don't think we're ever going to see it because it seems too good to be true.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's some kind of way. You know what it probably is? Because I mean, no one, no one's actually going to see the neurons firing in the brain exactly how it looks in our mind.
Yeah.
I feel like what it probably will be realistically is you explain your dream into some AI program and it'll like conjure up the images of like what you saw. So basically you're just giving it prompts and it's like filling in the gaps.
Yeah.
It's probably gonna be some shit like that.
Because I feel like dreams, obviously, this is like theoretical. If we were able to look at them in hindsight, they would look fucking bizarre.
Oh yeah.
Because it's always, when you're in the dream, it seems normal. When you wake up, you realize like that didn't make sense, this didn't make sense, what was there? There's like so many gaps.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's too surreal. Yeah, I don't know. And it's all in our head. Like, there's no actual visual.
What I find weird about the dream, I mean, maybe some of you guys who lucid dream like this doesn't apply to you, but to me, like, I find it weird that my brain can trick me into thinking, like, oh, this is totally normal.
Yeah.
Like, I just, like, accept a dream.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, this is how it is. I don't think how I got there. I don't think of anything. It's like, I'm just like, I'm fully immersed in it.
Yeah.
And it's so weird. It's like, what is that in the brain that like, tricks you into like
you just go along
accepting the reality of it.
Yeah, I guess like stressed out about shit that's happening in a dream so often, and it's like
so weird.
I
did have one recently where I was lucid dreaming, but it's always like then I wake up like a minute later. It's like I don't get to fully like. It's almost like my brain won't let me enjoy it.
Yeah.
Like it's like you start like like testing things and like picking things up, and then you're like, oh, time to wake up.
My theory, I don't know if I fully believe everyone who's like, oh yeah, I lucid dream all the time. I do whatever the fuck I want. Because
prove it.
Whenever, I've been able to. I was lucid for like 1 second in a dream, and then I woke up, and I like trained so hard because there's all this shit I read about like how to do it, and I really.
Was it Inception?
Well, no, just because it sounds like a cool idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I remember trying to do it for a week straight, and finally I was able to. And this is going on that track of thought that dreams are normal when you're sort of in the haze and on the drug of the dream, but then when you are actually like either in hindsight or I guess when you're lucid, you realize what the fuck.
Yeah.
Because I was shivering. All that happened. All that happened was. There was like a pool. It was like a swimming pool.
Yeah.
I remember I like woke up in the dream. And,
I remember this.
Yeah, you remember?
I was there.
It was Ben was always there. It was a swimming pool, but then when I like woke up in the dream, I realized it was just like thick blue plastic with like bubbles in it. But it wasn't even moving. It was. I remember I put my hand on it, and it was just like feeling like almost like a glossy plastic.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck?
Could you see through it?
Yeah, it was like translucent. You could see all the bubbles going all the way down.
Cool.
But I was like, what the fuck? And then I just woke up. Yeah. Wow. So it was very weird.
I had one where I was in a park and there were like these balloons up on the, like over the ridge. You could see like the horizon and these hills. And there were like these balloons, red balloons, that were just floating like stationary. And I was like, oh, that's not possible.
Right.
They'd be blown away. And then in my mind, I'm like, I'm in a dream.
Yeah.
And then for whatever reason in my dream, I had a clothes hanger. And then like, almost like I was connecting onto like a wire.
Yeah.
I could fly up in the air with it, but there was nothing. It wasn't connected to anything. I was just holding onto this clothes hanger, flying around, and the dream lasted, in my mind, maybe like a minute. And then I woke up, and I couldn't go very high. It's like I could like almost like float up in the air and maybe go up like 15 feet, and then I'd come back down again. And then in my mind, I'd be like, no, you can't do that.
Yeah.
And then like I woke up.
Yeah, I feel so. I always had that wonderful dream where it's you, me, and Max in this like grassy field. It wasn't like a crazy field. It was just like a park. And like I realized I could fly. It felt so real in the dream. You just like I'd like jump and I just kind of will myself to keep going up, and it felt so real.
That wasn't a dream, buddy. That wasn't a dream.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
But then we had the idea. It was like so grounded. Besides the flying part, it was so grounded in reality.
Yeah.
Like it was our first idea. Like, oh, we should make a video out of this and put it on Phased Review. And so like we strapped a GoPro to my forehead and
with glue.
Yeah, with glue. And then you had like a feed going to my laptop, and I'd be like flying around. I was like, hey Ben, does it look cool? And you're like, yeah, it's gonna be a great video.
That's amazing.
That was a whole dream.
That's sick.
Yeah, but my thing is. Everyone says like, oh, it was just about to get good, and then I woke up. And I think that's because that's your brain like firing more because you're waking up.
That's the name of your novel. Just about to get good, then I woke up. It sounds like the name of a stand-up special.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but everyone says that about every dream, and it's true. And I think it's. I mean, I'm not a fucking scientist or anything, but it stands to reason that when you're sleeping, everything's sort of dormant. There's not as much. Your brain is asleep. But then, as you're beginning to wake, like the dream is coming to a climax.
Yeah.
But that's just because you're starting to wake up and become more active. That's the only thing that makes sense to me.
Like a dream will be good if I can like actually fly and like bang Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Like that's what I want.
But usually, like in my accounts, the moment I'm like about to bang Scarlett Johansson, then I wake up.
Same.
Yeah. So
yeah.
It's like
And then Emmett's there.
And I'm filming it on the GoPro.
Yeah. I did have I've had a couple recurring dreams recently, but they're not identical. It's just like the same theme, not the exact same setting. But I've had one recently where the first one I had where I was walking around like, it looked somewhere like Savannah, Georgia, like with those big like mossy trees.
Yeah, cool.
And I was riding a bike, like a regular bicycle.
This is a beautiful premise already.
And it was like real kind of like misty out. Like it was daytime, but like almost like when there's like a dream sequence in a movie and everything's kind of like blurry.
Yeah.
But it's like sunny and it's like this weird like memory of the past.
That's cool.
And I was like riding this bicycle and there were all these abandoned buildings, almost like an abandoned camp. They had like these like patios that were like screened in, and I went up and all of them were abandoned.
Wow.
And I went up to the windows on one of them and I could see all these like old teapots and old chairs, and it was like this old abandoned camp. And I was like really nervous because off in the distance I saw like these trailers, and I thought, oh, what if there's hillbillies that'll come shoot me for trespassing?
Yeah.
And in my dream, I had my phone and I was like starting to record, and I was like super detailed where I'm like, okay, cool. And I like, even in my dream, I'm like, okay, adjust the quality. Like, boom, let's record this as quick as we can. And then I woke up.
Yeah.
A couple nights later, I had another one where it was nighttime. I was in my car and I was driving up in this really unfamiliar area, but I got out and it was all these old abandoned buildings. And I was like apprehensive about going into them because I was worried about trespassing. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, I got to record these. This is like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Then there was another one I went to where it was like everything was more like rubble. Like everything was kind of destroyed. Wow. Almost like a really bad storm, like a hurricane or something had gone through. And I was like documenting the damage. And there was like these old like factories in this town that were all like torn up. And I had 3 of those like in the span of a week. And I was like, oh wow, I'm really itching to do some urban exploration.
Yeah, I guess so.
And I'm stressed about trespassing. Yeah. I wonder why. Bradley cares. But good man, very nice, very forgiving. But yeah. Wow. So here's a new one for you. John Sterling, the New York Yankees announcer, hit by a Justin Turner foul ball, then got right back on the mic like an absolute warrior. I'm gonna play the video. We'll insert it here.
3-2 swung on, a pop foul back here. Ow! Ow! It really hit me. I didn't know it was coming back that far.
Oh, there's actually a video where you can see it hitting him. Ow! But yeah, he like took it to the face like a champ.
Oh my god!
Took the balls to the face, and and he got a Band-Aid on his head.
Poor guy.
Yeah, if you can't find the video, we'll just insert the picture of him here. Sure. But what a champ, man.
Yeah.
What a champ. Kind of funny.
Oh, came back that far. That's funny. Poor guy.
Yeah, 84 years old though, still in the sports cast.
Wow, he looks good for 84, damn.
Yeah.
So your next Instagram, I'm gonna read your little quote about it first.
Oh, so this one, go ahead, but I have a follow-up.
Okay. The dude really shouldn't have posted where he lives and when he's out of town and where he keeps his spare key, lol. Kind of asking for it, dummy. Let's see. My apartment got robbed, update.
This past weekend. I posted this video here for fun, and people took advantage of it.
I live next to the Taco Bell
and decided to come this past weekend while I was in San Diego.
I keep a whiteboard calendar just outside my room
and just literally clean shop. Just take everything that I own.
I keep a secret spare key under the doormat.
Why the fuck would he do this?
And when I got back, it was a shock. I couldn't believe it.
Was it a shock?
But good news is I just got footage from the LAPD, from the Taco Bell drive-through security camera. And if you can watch through that and see if you recognize anyone, please do. But whatever you can do, just please be vigilant. Please lock your doors. Please don't put any public information out there.
Yeah.
I learned this the hard way. Anyway. Thank you for the support.
Anyway, I saw the follow-up today. The guy fucking trolled everybody.
Oh my god, really?
So he said, but who knows, what if we're getting trolled on him doing something embarrassing? You can't trust this guy at all now.
Yeah.
I'm going to unfollow him. But apparently he said those were his friends, that he emptied out his own apartment. But then I'm wondering, did he actually, or is he just saying it to cover his ass?
Yeah, that seems...
But anyway, I guess the guy's a piece of shit and was just trolling everybody, so...
How he tricked everyone into thinking my apartment got... What's the point?
Yeah, but then I'm wondering, is that true, or is he trolling everyone out trolling?
Yeah.
So he's a super troll.
I just don't get the point of any of it. I think he fucked up when he's trying to pretend like...
I don't like him.
Now, yeah.
I don't like him.
Damn, weird.
Fuck him. No groundwater, no new homes, as Arizona severely restricts new housing.
Good.
ARS Technica, whatever that is.
Yep.
Let's read the story.
Good. Yeah, no more housing.
If they could stop, that would be great.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'll kind of try to summarize it a little bit. I'll read the first couple paragraphs. The nation's 5th largest city, and surrounding metropolitan area is officially tapped out of groundwater. No shit. Arizona Governor Katie Holmes announced Thursday, adding another item to the state's long list of water woes. By 2021, the Phoenix metro area will be short of nearly 5 million acre-feet of water. Obviously, this is old. Enough water for around 17 million homes under a new groundwater model released Thursday. Oh, I'm sorry, wait. I'm sorry, I misread that. By 2121, so 2121, the Phoenix metro area will be short of nearly 5 million acre-feet of water, enough water for around 17 million homes, under a new groundwater model released Thursday by the Arizona Department of Water Resources. That means any new development in the region that hasn't had its water guaranteed will have to rely on another source of water, such as the Colorado River or local rivers. Or not yet to be developed sources like desalinated ocean water. Yeah, okay. Recycled wastewater or groundwater pumped from other basins in the state to ensure existing homes and developments have the water they need in the future. Okay, so last part, I know you guys are getting bored, sorry. Since 1957, Arizona's population has surged 555%.
Jesus.
While water usage has decreased 3%. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Much of the state's growth has come in the form of sprawling suburbs built on cheap land in the desert, which often relies solely on groundwater. Okay, so like we've said a billion times on the past, maybe not a billion, but a million. Quit fucking building all these high-rise apartments. And like, here's the valley, right? It just keeps expanding outward into the desert, and people are building all these new housing developments out there. And like, realistically, like, you're in a desert. Eventually you're going to run out of water. People say, oh, there's plenty of water, until there's not.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, and also think of all these golf courses that use all this water for irrigation. It's like, they would have been better off like cutting it at like 2010. But like now they're like everywhere you look, downtown, outskirts of town, Scottsdale, Phoenix, Glendale, Chandler, Tolleson, Mesa, like nothing but fucking apartments being built everywhere, like, and also new housing developments, like as far as the eye can see. And it's like, okay, good. If they're really putting something into effect that'll like limit the building and limit the draining of our water, great. Because like, I know it may not sound serious, but like 100 years isn't that far away. So it's like, you really want your great grandkids to fucking die? It's like, I don't know, man. And I look at it like the way the valley is rapidly expanding, like that seems like a really conservative number. Like it could be in like 20 years. You know what I mean? Like, what if there's a few bad seasons of no rain? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I know they say groundwater, but it's like, how long is it going to last, dude? I don't know. But a lot of people, I think, are overconfident when it comes to the desert. Yeah. It's like,
they forget. Yeah.
But anyway, whatever, man. We'll see what happens. But scary, I think they're a bunch of morons.
Everyone, they should all move to Wickenburg. Get out of here.
I second that motion. Yeah, with the mannequins.
Yeah.
Well, the mannequins are great members of the society because they don't drink water.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they're not. Yeah. This is an interesting one.
And you can slap them around.
And they won't tell you.
The mannequin.
Yeah. NASA warns of internet apocalypse that could disable the internet for months.
I had thought of this years ago.
A quest to stop a future internet apocalypse brought on by solar storms has been taken up by NASA's Parker Solar Probe.
Nerds.
Having successfully traversed the solar wind, the probe has collected vital information on severe storms that might prevent internet access for months or even years. By understanding the physics underlying solar wind, scientists are seeking to foresee and lessen the effects of solar storms, which may seriously harm communication networks. I've been saying this for years. What if it just runs out of space?
Yeah,
that's great.
Think about it. What if the internet ran out of space? If the internet went down in any way for a long period of time, like even if it was just for an hour, it'd be a huge deal. But if the internet went away for like a month, like, can you imagine just how that would change everything?
I think it'd be cool.
It would be cool in a way.
Things chiller.
What if it came back and like everything was gone? Like, what if they like somehow got the internet to come back?
All the memory on the internet.
Yeah, everything was just wiped clean, and like, everyone has to start from scratch.
Should be kind of nice, actually.
Yeah, it'd be a good reset.
Yeah, it would be a good reset. Yeah,
they'd have to really get to work on the new, getting porn out there again.
Yeah.
But what do you guys think? If the internet went away, you'd miss this the most, I think.
Yeah.
Bud Light parent Anheuser-Busch stock lost $27 billion over Dylan Mulvaney. Let's see, New York Post, a great source of news. All right, Bud Light maker Anheuser-Busch has lost a whopping $27 billion with a B in market value in the wake of its star-crossed partnership with Dylan Mulvaney. Most recently slammed by a 4% stock drop this week. Market capitalization fell to $107.44 billion through the end of May, down more than $27 billion. This was obviously a slightly older article. down more than $27 billion from the $134.55 billion value of the company that it had at the end of March, the day before Mulvaney's partnership went live. This is good. This goes back to what we were talking about before. Like, companies quit it with this weird woke bullshit because it's going to affect your sales.
Yeah.
And what's so funny is everyone's like super righteous and like wearing their virtue signal flag on their sleeve until it starts affecting the money.
Yeah.
Then when it affects the money, suddenly they're like, oh wait, you take it back. Yeah. And it's just so funny. You see it with Target, you see it with Bud Light, you see it with all these big companies where it's like, maybe we jump the gun a little bit. Yeah. Anyway, that's all I have to say about that.
No, it's so true. Yeah.
But it is funny how it directly affects the sales.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
you're like,
it is really funny.
You know, yeah.
Yeah. People like the Xbox Flames better than the Xbox Range.
Diablo looks sick.
Yeah. This is really funny. Here's the thing. It says, your comment is, I knew it was South America before I even read the details.
100%.
A woman was declared dead, and they censored dead.
Yeah. We didn't have code words, apparently, for YouTube.
Jesus
a woman was declared no longer existing.
Wakes up in the coffin at her own funeral. A 76-year-old lady who was reported unalive at a hospital in Ecuador shocked her family by pounding on her coffin, forcing the government to investigate the hospital. Her cause of unalive was listed as cardiorespiratory arrest. As a result, hospital staff allegedly believed that she had passed away.
Who's checking these things?
Yeah. Damn.
I heard a horror story one time. It was this podcast you guys can listen to. It's called something like Late Night Video Rental or something like that. I don't know if I remember. But it was a scary story of this dude who used to transport bodies from, where the people pass away to morgues. And there was this one where he kept hearing like a thumping in the back of his van that he was transporting the bodies in. And he heard it like a couple times, so he had to like call a nurse to come in and like check this dude. And they never felt any pulse. And then he heard the guy moving again, like in the morgue. And he's like, okay. And he had like 3 people check him. And he said the wife of the dude that was no longer living, was like, hey, we need him cremated like ASAP. And she was like really in a hurry about it. And so finally the dude, like after having 3 people check him, was still skeptical, but he's like, all right, there's a lot of pressure, like we gotta get this guy cremated. So they did it, and no one ever came to claim his ashes. So they think that like the lady like drugged him, and the wife, and had him killed, because they were like, hey, we got like people coming for the memorial service, like let's get the show on the road. No one ever came to claim the ashes. So like it was like clearly a murder. Holy shit. Isn't that terrifying?
That's terrifying, man.
So always check the pulse 100 times.
That's so eerie, Jesus.
Yeah, it's super scary. Let's read the other one. What do we got? That'll cost extra. New Mexico woman finds cocaine on Sonic hot dog.
Wait, what?
Yeah. So let's read it. Police in Española, New Mexico, said on Thursday that a woman reported finding a bag of white powder in a hot dog she ordered at Sonic.
Hey, it's like their secret menu items.
It is, yeah. We were way ahead of the curve. In a court document, officers wrote that Celine Gonzalez got the hot dog Tuesday at the Sonic in South Riverside and discovered the bag after taking a bite. Jesus. Police claim testing confirmed it contained a gram of cocaine. In their report, officers said Gonzalez spit out the bag. Jesus, I could have killed her if she...
Yeah.
But they didn't say whether she ingested any of the drug. On Thursday, a KOB4 news crew saw that the Sonic is still open. I think that's pretty scary. This is a quote. We come here to get food for our families, and if a child found that, it could have been pretty bad or deadly. Yeah. One woman said after ordering food. Fatty. That's kind of crazy. One man said while leaving the location, I just got an ice cream. I hope we're good. Police said a cook is responsible. They charged David Salazar with cocaine possession, which is a felony charge.
Damn it.
Officers said they watched surveillance video from inside the Sonic and claim after making Gonzalez's food, Salazar looked like he was frantically searching for something he lost.
Holy shit.
Police said he admitted to them it was his cocaine.
That's so
funny. And told them he bought it from someone in the Sonic parking lot. What a fucking idiot.
Jesus.
KOB4 spoke over the phone with someone who said they are a supervisor at the location and they would not comment or answer questions about what happened. Wow. So like I said, that'll cost extra.
Holy shit.
How stupid are you?
Yeah.
Like, how stupid are you?
How do you put it in the fucking hot dog?
How do you... Yeah. I mean, like, he must have been just high out of his mind, and somehow, some way...
It's like... I was about to say it's like a comedy skit, but it literally is. We already did that as a comedy skit.
You know what I wonder what happened? I wonder if he was dealing drugs and it went to the wrong person.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if he's like, hey, order the hot dog.
Yeah.
And he puts it in and it was the wrong hot dog and really he was the one dealing?
Yeah. That makes more sense.
Maybe he just took the hit for possession instead of the hit for distribution.
Yeah,
or dealing.
Worse, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like maybe he was like, yeah, it's mine, whatever. Yeah. Take the hit, but really he was intending on selling it to someone that went to the wrong car.
That's smart. I think you're right.
I bet that's what happened.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, fucking idiot. Funny story though.
Jury convicts Oregon man who rigged his home with Indiana Jones booby trap, injuring FBI agent.
Nice. Looks like Willem Dafoe.
He does. A man from Oregon has been convicted after rigging up his property with a series of Indiana Jones-style booby traps. Gregory Lee Rodvelt, 71, had previously lost possession of his property in a lawsuit. Bomb specialists from the FBI were later dispatched to inspect the property after Rodvelt was arrested in 2017 on suspicion of possessing explosives. Sorry.
It's a tongue twister.
It is. FBI agent Jeffrey Gray wrote an affidavit or written statement made under oath which detailed the dangerous devices that Rodvelt had installed.
Dorian Gray.
It read...
Jean Grey.
It read, Rodvelt stated that he set up fishing line and a tripwire across the property gate that went to a round hot tub that was on its side set to roll down the hill and hit whoever comes through the gate. That's badass.
Kind of cool.
Rodvelt described it by referencing the stone rolling down in the Indiana Jones movie.
Nice.
That guy's dope.
What if the mailman comes through?
Yeah, it's sad, but it's kind of, you know...
He's agile.
Yeah. He's agile. That's insane.
That is insane. Kind of cool.
It is kind of cool.
Here's a fun one. A female-led remake of The Office is officially happening.
Holy shit, I remember that, yeah.
The Office, a fan-favorite sitcom, is receiving an Australian remake starring Felicity Ward. Prime Video Australia is planning a new series based on the ever-popular program, which started in the UK before finding its way to the United States. Felicity Ward, a stand-up comedian, will play the remake's boss, taking over the popular position of Michael Scott. And I said, that'll be a fun one season.
Yeah, what the fuck? They gotta stop doing that. I think they learned a lesson with Ghostbusters.
God, yeah, that was rough. Well, like I said, good luck, but no one's gonna watch.
Yeah, geez. Yeah.
Except for the people that worked on it, maybe. God, pretty rough.
You said here, 4Pod, and I want to turn this into a stand-up bit as well.
Okay.
Who are these psychos letting 4-year-olds drive semi-trucks and supercars? Like,
exactly.
You want likes, but holy shit, this is terrifying.
Yeah. It's all these videos of like 4-year-olds like driving semis and sports cars.
What the fuck? Oh my god.
It's fucking insane. Yeah.
Why would you do that?
You're stupid.
Yeah, so you're just a little kid driving this giant fucking semi.
Yeah, and I see this all the time. I'm like, how is this legal? Like, maybe because it's on a racetrack, but like...
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. Seems a little weird.
This 4-year-old boy drives a truck like a professional. It's not that he's just like backed up.
Yeah.
What?
I hate
That's weird, yeah.
Anything with the overachieving little kids, can't stand it.
Yeah, I hate that shit. Yeah.
Can't stand it. It's such a cheap grab for likes.
It is, yeah.
There was one where it's like this like cute news anchor, and she's like riding with that kid, and he's like driving like a fucking Bugatti or something, and she's like, "Whoa, slow down." And he's like, "Oh, I got it," and he's driving, and I'm like, this is fucking retarded.
Yeah,
like, it's just like one of those where I'm like, this is so stupid. Yeah. But I just hate that. That's like
I've never found that little kids to be cute. I've always found them to be fucking annoying.
They're obnoxious. Yeah. Next thing you know, he's going to do a violin concerto with one hand on his chin while he's driving the Bugatti. Yeah. But it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Jesus Christ.
I hate everything. All right, so let's see what's next. I think we got time for one more. Let's take a look. Okay, last one. This is a scary one for you. Hell no. Watch passenger open airplane door mid-flight.
Oh my god.
All right, so this one was terrifying. Yeah, I think we got time for one more. Here we go. Sorry, let me restart the video. There we go.
It's shocking video just as Memorial Day travel kicks into high gear. A disturbed man opens a plane door during the flight while panicked passengers grip their armrests. And it went on for 5 long minutes. So how could this possibly happen? Airplane doors are supposed to be kept airtight and locked.
Yeah.
Les Trent spoke with an aviation expert to find out.
Absolute terror.
Fuck
a
that.
passenger just opened the airplane door mid-flight. A feat said to be impossible. 194 passengers are on board, and they're getting battered by the intense wind.
Oof.
Imagine how they must be freaking out. The plane was 600 feet off the ground, minutes from landing in South Korea when it happened.
Witnesses say the passenger was sitting next to the emergency door. He apparently showed no signs that anything was wrong when he suddenly removed a plastic cover, pulled a lever, and the door slid open. How is that even possible?
Today, everyone is wondering how the heck this happened.
How the heck do you open the door not supposed to open midair?
It's supposed to be impossible. How did it happen?
I think the most important thing to identify in this story is the phase of flight that this occurred in. This was at the landing of the aircraft
I was
where
really
they are
excited
moving for
explaining
their
it.
final approach. It actually is possible to open an emergency exit door.
The man could not have opened the door at 20 or 30,000 feet.
It is physically impossible to open that door.
Relax.
The cabin is pressurized and it's at its normal cruising altitude.
9 people had to be treated at the hospital for breathing difficulties.
Jeez.
Talk about scary.
Can you imagine being the fucker next to him?
Yeah.
God, shit. So my question is, the dude that opened it, did he jump out? Or like...
Well, I hope so. Get him out of there.
Man, but can you imagine how fucking scary that would be? Anyway, guys, so...
I like how she's trying to reassure us that, at 20,000 feet, it won't open. 600,
Yeah.
It's not going to make a fucking difference.
No, it's still terrifying, yeah. You drop from 100 feet, you're done.
Yeah.
Or that at that speed, you're going like 700 miles an hour or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, psychos.
The last one, I don't even, the last Instagram I had that I was going to read is that some kid asked these other kids to turn their music down on a subway and got like stabbed for it.
Yeah.
What the fuck? What's going on?
Everyone wants to be in the Warriors.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
I like ending on a happy note for you guys. Yeah.
So there you go.
There you go. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. If you want to avoid being sucked out of a plane going 750 miles an hour, 600 feet up in the air, or being stabbed on a subway, you should consider becoming a patron.
That's right. We'll protect you.
Yeah, so check it out down below. Good stuff to come. Make sure you unsubscribe. You can if you want. make sure you unsubscribe. Make sure you subscribe to Unfazed Frights because I think it's a great channel and it's not getting nearly enough love. Also subscribe to Star Map.
Oh, thank you.
Check it out. And if you like concerts, check out Zenwave 93. All the links are down below. I love you guys. Like, subscribe, and most importantly, remain unfazed. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.